AI is like the word on everyone's lips these days.
Yeah, it's everywhere you look.
But put them together, AI and podcast. OMG, AI.
Catchy, right?
Definitely attention grabbing.
Yeah, and it tells you something about how people see AI, you know?
Definitely a sense of buckle up.
A little bit of awe, a little bit of, oh my God, what's next?
Exactly. Makes you wonder if we're ready for a podcast like OMG AI.
Maybe, maybe not. Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. And today, we're going to kind of go behind the scenes of a startup that's been making some serious waves since they really launched last year. This is UnDesto AI.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about this deep dive is that we're going to hear from the founders directly.
I love that.
Through excerpts from a live stream that they did recently.
Oh, cool.
So we'll get to hear straight from the horse's mouths, as they say.
Yeah, and what I think is so fascinating about them is that they really embody this idea of just diving headfirst into AI. It wasn't, a carefully planned, years in the making.
Right.
They were both working in totally different fields when AI kind of grabbed them and pulled them in.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Who are Myra and Christopher?
Okay, so
paint a picture for our listener.
Myra Roldan is our founder and CEO, and she's been deep in the AI world for over a decade.
Wow.
Which is really impressive when you consider, she's a Latina in a field that's pretty much dominated by men.
Right. It's always inspiring to see people breaking down those barriers.
Absolutely.
What about Christopher? What's his background?
So Christopher Ellis, he's our director of business development, and his background is actually in finance.
Okay.
So he's had a real trial by fire education on all things AI alongside Myra.
That's quite a shift.
Yeah.
And what I thought was really interesting, too, is they actually met while Myra was still working at Amazon.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it wasn't the smoothest experience there.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
And that's kind of partly what led to UnDesto taking shape.
Yeah, so from what they've said, Myra was feeling really stifled at Amazon. She had all these really innovative ideas about AI, but it was really hard to get them heard or, implemented within a company that large.
I can relate to that feeling of hitting a ceiling.
Yeah.
So how did UnDesto go from side hustle to full-fledged business?
Well, Myra left Amazon in September of 2024, and it was almost like as soon as she left, things really clicked into place. They landed their first major contract almost immediately after she left.
Wow, that's incredible timing.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
So was it just luck, or was there something more at play?
Myra's adamant that it wasn't just luck.
Okay.
She's been really strategic about building her personal brand and network for years.
Yeah.
And that's actually a huge part of what drew clients to UnDesto. People trusted her expertise.
Right.
And they knew that she could deliver.
It's a great reminder for anyone listening that your reputation and the relationships that you build can be your biggest assets, especially in that startup world.
Absolutely. But, building a startup from scratch is never easy. Right. So I'm really curious to know what challenges they face, especially in those early days.
Well, did they have investors backing them, or was it a true bootstrap operation?
It was completely bootstrapped. Myra funded everything herself out her pocket, which is...
That takes guts.
Yeah, it's no small feat. So you can imagine the pressure of launching this business while also being the sole financial backer.
I bet that came with its own set of challenges.
Oh, definitely. Myra has talked about feeling totally overwhelmed, wearing multiple hats, constantly having to prioritize.
Right.
It sounds like having a really strong support network was crucial for her, to keep going.
It's amazing what you can accomplish when you have people in your corner cheering you on.
Absolutely.
What were some of the other business decisions that they had to grapple with early on?
Well, one that really stands out is Myra's decision to apply for the GSA schedule while she was still at Amazon.
Now, for those who don't know, what is the GSA schedule and why was it important?
So the GSA schedule, it's basically a list of pre-approved vendors that are allowed to sell products and services to the government.
Oh, okay.
So, getting on that GSA schedule, it can be a total game changer for a startup.
I bet.
Because it opens up this huge potential market. So Myra was clearly thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Recognizing that, government contracts could be a major source of revenue for them down the line.
That's smart. But I imagine navigating government bureaucracy could be a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Even for, seasoned entrepreneurs. So did they face any roadblocks?
Well, there were definitely some bumps in the road.
Okay.
The program was actually temporarily closed for minority-owned businesses at the time.
Oh, wow.
So that created some delays and just added another layer of complexity to the whole thing.
It's so frustrating to see those systemic barriers still in place.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Myra is not one to back down easily.
Oh, absolutely not.
She was determined to make it work.
Oh, yeah. And that determination really paid off. Remember, they landed that major contract right after Myra left Amazon.
Right.
And, a lot of that can be attributed to her groundwork, in securing that GSA approval.
It just shows that persistence and a bit of strategic foresight can really make a difference.
For sure. But let's be honest. Launching a startup is about so much more than just landing contracts, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There are so many moving parts and behind-the-scenes challenges that most people never see.
Right. What were some of those less glamorous moments for Myra and Christopher?
Well, building a business is never just about the big wins, right? It's about those everyday struggles, those tiny details that can trip you up if you're not careful.
Totally.
And Myra actually shared this hilarious anecdote.
Well, I love a good anecdote.
About the challenges of finding the right business insurance when you're working from home.
Oh my gosh, I can relate to that.
Right.
When I first started freelancing, I had no idea how complicated business insurance could be.
Oh, no.
What were some of the hurdles that she faced?
Well, she had to figure out all these things that most people don't even think about, like NAICS codes.
Okay.
Which basically classify your business type for the government.
Oh, why?
And then she also had to set up a fictitious address.
Okay.
Because a lot of insurance companies don't cover home-based businesses.
Interesting.
So it's just like all these little things that you don't even think about.
Yeah, you don't realize until you're in it.
Right, exactly.
Did they face any other logistical challenges?
Yeah, choosing the right business systems and making sure that everything integrated seamlessly was a big one.
Right.
They had to figure out, which CRM to use, which accounting software would work best,
right,
and how to streamline their proposal process. It's a lot to juggle, especially when you're bootstrapped.
Right, and you don't have like a dedicated IT team.
Exactly.
So what systems did they end up choosing?
They're using a combination of HubSpot for their CRM, QuickBooks Online for accounting, and then Better Proposals for sending proposals.
Okay.
And they've said that it's really important to find tools that not only meet your needs, but also integrate well with each other.
Right.
So you avoid those data silos and wasted time.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So they were tackling all these logistical hurdles while also trying to build their client base.
Yeah.
Establish themselves as experts in the AI space.
Totally.
That's a lot to handle. Were there any financial challenges that surprised them?
Oh, definitely. Myra actually revealed that she spent a staggering $30,000 on AI tool subscriptions in the early days of UnDesto.
$30,000? That's a pretty hefty sum.
It is.
Especially for a bootstrap startup.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what led to that level of spending.
Yeah.
What lessons did they learn from that?
So it sounds like they fell into a track that a lot of entrepreneurs in the AI space fall into. Which is getting caught up in the hype and believing that they need every new tool and platform to be successful.
The shiny object syndrome.
Exactly. And Myra's been really open about the fact that they probably overspent in those early days.
Okay.
And she learned the hard way that more tools don't necessarily translate into better results.
So what's their approach now? Have they completely sworn off AI tools?
Not at all. They still use a variety of tools, but they're a lot more strategic about their choices now.
Okay.
So they really focus on identifying the tools that truly add value to their workflow.
Right.
And align with their frugal AI philosophy.
I love that term, frugal AI.
Yeah.
It speaks to their commitment to finding smart, cost-effective solutions rather than just throwing money at every new gadget that comes along.
Exactly.
But I'm curious, what does that actually look like in practice? How do they actually implement this frugal AI approach with their clients?
That's a great question, and it's one we'll definitely dive into deeper in the next part of our deep dive. But before we move on, there's another aspect of their journey I think is important to highlight.
Okay.
Myra and Christopher haven't just faced, the typical challenges of building a startup.
Right.
They've also had to navigate the complexities of being minority entrepreneurs in a field that's not exactly known for its diversity.
That's a really crucial point. It's one thing to overcome the obstacles of starting a business, but it's another thing entirely to do so while also facing those systemic biases and societal expectations.
Exactly. And both Myra and Christopher have been really open about the unique challenges that they've encountered.
Yeah.
Myra, as a Latina woman in AI, has talked about constantly having to prove her expertise. and facing skepticism from those who underestimate her abilities.
Yeah, it's incredibly disheartening that that still happens.
Yeah.
But sadly, not surprising.
Yeah.
What about Christopher? Has he faced similar biases?
As a Black man in business development, he said he's often encountered this pressure to work for free or offer really deep discounts just to prove his worth.
It's like there's this unspoken expectation that he has to go above and beyond to earn the same level of trust and respect that others might receive more readily.
Exactly.
It's frustrating to see how these deeply ingrained biases still permeate the business world.
Yeah.
It takes real strength and resilience to navigate those situations while also trying to build a successful company.
It really does. And it sounds like Myra and Christopher have developed a really strong partnership, both professionally and personally, and that's been really crucial for them to overcome these hurdles.
Well, I'm really eager to hear more about their partnership and how they've kind of supported each other throughout this journey.
Yeah.
But let's pause here for now and give our listeners a moment to absorb everything we've covered so far.
Okay.
It's already an incredible story, and we've only just scratched the surface.
I agree.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into UnDesto AI.
Awesome.
Ever wished you could create a lifelike voice in seconds? 11 Labs makes it happen. Their AI-powered platform takes text-to-speech to a whole new level, letting you generate human-like voices for content, storytelling, or even customer support. Their AI generator can deliver high-quality, human-like speech in 32 languages. Perfect for audiobooks, video voiceovers, commercials, and more. To learn more, click the link in our show notes.
Welcome back. We're picking up our conversation about UnDesto AI, and I'm really eager to delve into their frugal AI approach.
Yeah.
It's such a refreshing concept in a world where everyone seems to be pushing the latest, greatest, most expensive AI tools.
It is refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really challenges that idea that you need to spend a fortune to harness the power of AI.
Right.
Myra and Christopher have proven that you can achieve incredible results with a strategic and resourceful approach.
You mentioned earlier that their philosophy is about leveraging existing systems, maximizing resources.
Yeah.
Can you give us some concrete examples of what that looks like in practice?
Absolutely. So one of their core beliefs is that companies often overlook the potential of their existing data and systems.
Okay.
So instead of, rushing out to buy shiny new AI tools, they encourage their clients to first assess what they already have and explore how they can leverage that data to achieve their goals.
Makes a lot of sense. Like decluttering your digital space before going on a shopping spree.
Exactly.
What are some specific ways that they've helped clients achieve this?
So they've worked with companies to streamline data collection processes, identify hidden patterns in their existing data, and even automate tasks using simple, readily available tools.
Okay, so it's about finding creative ways to extract value from what you already have.
Right.
Rather than assuming you need to buy your way to success. I'm curious about the types of clients that they work with. Is this frugal AI approach applicable across different industries and business sizes?
It really is. They've worked with everyone from small startups to Fortune 500 companies.
Wow.
And the principles remain the same. It's about identifying that core business problem, understanding the available data, and then finding that most efficient and cost-effective way to apply AI solutions.
So they're not just AI consultants, they're almost like AI detectives.
Yes.
Uncovering hidden opportunity.
That's a great analogy.
Helping companies unlock their full potential.
Love it.
And that detective work often involves challenging assumptions and pushing back against the prevailing narrative in the AI industry.
Totally.
What do you mean by pushing back against the narrative? What are some of those assumptions that they're challenging?
Well, one of the biggest misconceptions they encounter is this idea that AI is a magic bullet.
Right.
A one-size-fits-all solution to every business problem.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in that hype.
Yeah.
Especially when you're bombarded with all these marketing messages promising instant results and transformative change.
Totally. And Myra and Christopher are very clear about the fact that AI is a tool.
Okay.
And like any tool, it needs to be used strategically and thoughtfully.
Right. It's not about replacing human intelligence.
Right.
It's about augmenting it
Yeah.
and finding ways to make our work more efficient, more insightful, more impactful.
Exactly.
So their philosophy is very much human-centered,
Mm-hmm.
which aligns with their commitment to ethical AI practices.
Yeah.
It's not just about maximizing profits.
Right.
It's about using technology in a way that benefits both businesses and society as a whole.
Precisely. And that commitment to ethical AI is woven into everything they do. It's not just a talking point. It's a core value that informs their client work, their partnerships, and their overall approach to building a sustainable business.
It's inspiring to see a company walking the walk when it comes to ethical AI.
It is.
Especially in an industry that's often criticized for prioritizing profit over people.
For sure.
But I'm curious, beyond their frugal AI approach and ethical stance, what else sets UnDesto apart from other AI consulting firms?
Well,
What's their secret sauce?
one thing that really stands out is their focus on education and empowerment.
Okay.
So they're not just solving problems for their clients.
Right.
They're equipping them with the knowledge and skills to navigate the AI landscape independently.
That's a really interesting approach. I imagine that must be incredibly valuable for their clients.
Yeah.
Especially those who are new to the world of AI.
Totally.
Can you tell us more about their educational initiatives?
Yeah, so they've actually partnered with Your Instructional Designer,
Right.
which is a company led by Nicole Papapano,
Okay.
to launch a comprehensive AI academy.
Oh, wow.
And it offers 2 distinct tracks, one for businesses and one for the general public.
So they're not just catering to corporate clients, they're also making AI education accessible to individuals who want to upskill or explore new career paths.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What does the AI Academy curriculum cover?
So it's designed to be a deep dive into the fundamentals of AI,
Okay.
starting with the basics of building a business case for AI implementation.
That's a crucial skill that a lot of people overlook.
Yeah.
It's not just about having a cool AI idea, it's about understanding how that idea can translate into tangible business value.
Totally.
What else is included in the program?
They cover a wide range of topics, from mitigating bias in AI systems
Okay.
to evaluating tools for security and even building AI agents.
AI agents, that sounds intriguing. Can you explain what those are and why they're important?
Yeah, so AI agents are essentially software programs that can perform tasks autonomously.
Okay.
So they use AI algorithms to make decisions
Right.
and interact with their environment. They're
Okay.
becoming increasingly important in areas like customer service,
Okay.
data analysis, and even creative content generation.
So the AI Academy really does provide a comprehensive overview of the AI landscape, from the practical considerations of implementation to the more futuristic applications of AI agents. Sounds like a valuable resource for anyone looking to stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving field.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm also curious about Myra and Christopher's personal journeys.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about the challenges they faced as minority entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear more about what they've learned about themselves throughout this process.
That's a great question. You know, it's one thing to build a successful business,
Right.
but it's another thing entirely to navigate that personal growth and self-discovery that comes with entrepreneurship.
Exactly. What insights have they shared about that aspect of their journey?
Well, they've both been very candid about the fact that starting UnDesto has pushed them outside their comfort zones and forced them to confront their own limiting beliefs. Myra, for example, has talked about how she used to shy away from public speaking,
Okay.
but now she embraces every opportunity to share her knowledge and inspire others.
It's amazing how entrepreneurship can push you to develop new skills and discover hidden strengths. What about Christopher? What are some of the personal growth lessons he's learned?
He's talked about the importance of resilience and perseverance, you know?
Yeah,
The startup journey is full of ups and downs,
absolutely.
and it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned.
Of course.
But he's learned to embrace those challenges like opportunities for growth and to keep pushing forward even when faced with setbacks.
It's that grit and determination that separates successful entrepreneurs from those who give up at the first sign of difficulty.
Right.
But it's also important to acknowledge that resilience isn't just about pushing through no matter what.
Right.
It's also about knowing when to ask for help,
Yeah.
having a strong support system in place.
For sure. And both Myra and Christopher have emphasized the importance of having a network of mentors,
Right.
advisors,
Yeah.
fellow entrepreneurs who they can rely on for guidance and support.
It's like that old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that.
And it sounds like Myra and Christopher have built a strong community around UnDesto,
They have.
both within their own team and with their clients and partners.
Yes.
What are some of the other key takeaways they've shared about building a successful business?
Well, one thing they've stressed is the importance of staying true to your values. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of profit and lose sight of what's truly important.
Right.
But they've made a very conscious decision to prioritize ethical AI practices,
Yeah.
diversity and inclusion, and a human-centered approach to technology.
It's inspiring to see that their values are not just empty words. They're woven into the fabric of their business.
Yeah.
And that authenticity shines through in everything they do,
Yes.
from their client work to their educational initiatives.
For sure. And that authenticity has undoubtedly contributed to their success,
Yeah.
People are drawn to companies that are not only competent,
Right.
but also align with their values.
It's about building a brand that stands for something, a brand that people can trust and believe in, and it sounds like UnDesto has achieved that in a relatively short amount of time.
They have, and they're not resting on their laurels either.
Okay.
They're constantly looking for new ways to innovate, to expand their reach,
Yeah.
and to make a positive impact on the world.
Well, I'm eager to hear more about their vision for the future, but let's pause here for now.
Okay.
Give our listener a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. We've covered a lot of ground, from the nuts and bolts of their frugal AI approach
Yeah, we have.
to the more philosophical questions of ethics, values, and the role of technology in society.
Totally. It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has.
And I'm excited to continue exploring the UnDesto story in the next part of our deep dive.
Are you looking to upskill your team in AI? Check out your Academy AI. Their expert AI training team has enabled some of the world's top companies to effectively adopt AI. Your team gains critical skills that lay the foundation for responsible innovation. From AI fundamentals, AI policy governance and ethics, to AI tool evaluation and building AI agents. To learn more, visit the link in the show notes.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of UnDesto AI. We've been exploring their journey, their frugal AI philosophy, and their commitment to ethical and human-centered technology. Now I'm curious to hear more about their vision for the future. What's next for Myra and Christopher?
Well, they've hinted at some pretty ambitious goals. One thing that stands out is their desire to kind of expand their reach beyond just, individual client projects.
So they're thinking bigger than just consulting. What direction are they headed in?
They're exploring different avenues for growth, including, developing their own proprietary AI solutions.
Okay.
And potentially even acquiring other AI companies.
That's a big leap from where they started just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're transitioning from AI advisors to AI innovators.
Exactly. They want to move beyond simply helping companies implement existing AI tools and start creating, their own cutting-edge technologies.
So what kinds of technologies are they interested in developing?
They haven't revealed specific details yet, but they've mentioned a particular interest in AI solutions that enhance human creativity and problem-solving abilities.
That aligns perfectly with their human-centered approach to AI,
Yeah.
It's not about replacing human intelligence. It's about amplifying it and finding ways for technology to complement our unique skills and talents.
Precisely. And their vision extends beyond just developing new technologies. They also want to create a more inclusive and equitable AI ecosystem.
I'm curious to hear more about that. How are they working to promote diversity and inclusion in the AI industry?
So one of their key initiatives is their partnership with your instructional designer to create the AI Academy,
Right.
which we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
And by making AI education accessible to a wider audience, they're hoping to empower individuals from all backgrounds to pursue careers in this field.
Yeah, it's a really powerful way to address that lack of diversity in tech and create a more representative workforce for the future.
Yeah.
But beyond education, are there other ways they're working to create a more inclusive AI ecosystem?
Yeah, they're actively involved in mentoring and supporting other minority entrepreneurs in the AI space. They're also really vocal advocates for ethical AI development and the responsible use of technology, recognizing that AI systems can perpetuate and even amplify existing biases if they're not developed and deployed thoughtfully.
It's inspiring to see them using their platform to advocate for positive change and create a more just and equitable future for everyone.
Yeah.
It's clear that their vision extends far beyond just building a successful business. They want to make a real difference in the world.
They do, and that passion and purpose are evident in everything they do, from their client work to their public speaking engagement.
It's been incredible to kind of follow their journey from, their humble beginnings as a bootstrap startup to their current position as thought leaders and innovators in the AI industry.
It really has.
And their story is a testament to the power of hard work, perseverance, and a commitment to making a positive impact.
It is.
It's also a reminder that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's shaped by the choices we make today. Myra and Christopher are inspiring others to use technology wisely, ethically, and with a focus on human well-being.
Absolutely. They're showing the world that AI can be a force for good. And their vision for the future is one that I, for one, am excited to see unfold.
Well said. Their story is a really powerful reminder that we all have the potential to shape the future, not just through, technological innovation, but through our values, our choices, and our commitment to creating a better world.
And that's a message worth sharing.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the world of UnDesto AI. It's been an inspiring and thought-provoking conversation.
Yeah, it has.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep diving deep.